We jump into the Twitter segment. One of the things I saw, Freddie Roach. I know if Darren were here, he God only knows what kind of jokes or what kind of popsicle stick jokes he'd be throwing at you. But Freddie Roach, yes, we are a fan. But as you all know, Chavez Jr. did lose that fight last weekend. He's unhappy with Chavez Jr. just because I guess the report is that he failed to follow instructions during the fight.
What a surprise.
Yeah, big surprise there.
Yeah.
He claims that Chavez Jr. blew off training and practices. He also tested positive for marijuana, so we're waiting on the decision from the Nevada State Athletic Commission after that. He also says Chavez Jr. didn't follow instructions. He wanted to either train at home or not at all. And actually, a lot of people witnessed Chavez Jr. listening to a senior there in the crowd as opposed to his corner.
Yes, I noticed that too when I watched.
Very ironic, which by the way, I some other people are saying that he didn't listen to either one of them. He just went out and did his own thing anyway. So it was a big train wreck out there. I want to ask you guys, does Freddie Roach and his camp, do they deserve the blame for Chavez Jr.'s loss? I mean, they're catching some flack for Amir Khan, and camps lose fights from time to time. It happens. But is Freddie Roach to blame for all this?
No, the bottom line is, you can't fight. He can't fight the fight for the guys.
Right.
He's going out there. He's telling them what to do. Now, whether they do it or not is the same thing in other sports. A lot of it falls on the head coach or the manager or whatever. But the bottom line, he gives them a plan. He tells them what to do. Now, if he's not going to do it, what else can you do?
Right.
The only thing I blame Freddie Roach for is getting involved with somebody who maybe doesn't have the discipline of a fighter that he would, the discipline that he would hope the fighter has. And maybe he thought that he could turn that around. Maybe not. Obviously, he couldn't.
Excellent
so
point.
maybe it's Freddie Roach's fault for getting involved with Chavez Jr. because he's never been known as the most disciplined fighter.
Yeah, that seems to be the knock.
Or trainer.
Right.
However, though, look at who it is. It's Chavez Jr. He's looking to his dad, who is his main idol. Not only that, he's a title holder, and he's been doing this his whole life. Not only that, he's promoting his whole life. Yeah, I mean, I can understand where you're in the ring and you're throwing, and yes, Freddie Roach taught you, and he's been doing everything for you to make you solid. However, when you hear your dad's voice and you're in a ring and you know that that's a creditable voice to listen to,
right?
I mean, you can almost not listen to it.
Yeah, no, both great points. I mean, the fact is, Freddie Roach can't be blamed for anything that somebody does. He can't go in there and duck and bob and weave and throw punches. He can only show you how to do it and train you hard. If you don't show up, what else can you do? Secondly, why doesn't Chavez Jr. Just listen to Senior? Why isn't? I mean, he's a legend in the sport himself, and if he's shouting out why is he not training his son?
Yeah, exactly. Why? That's a great point. Why is he not? If he's gonna shout out instructions, then he should be training him. If not, if you're sitting in the crowd, shut up and let the trainer do it. Is the way I look at it.
Right. And what's funny is obviously I'm assuming that if you have a family member or a friend in the ring, it will be very hard for you not to show favoritism and maybe I mean, you see guys in the very back row shouting instructions,
exactly.
let alone the guys sitting next to the cage of the ring. It doesn't matter if it's UFC or boxing, but the fact of the matter is, if you're going to be shouting and you're going to be a disruption, I mean, you should be carrying the bucket and the stool.
That's a great point.
That's a question. Why isn't he in his son's corner?
I would be very shocked if he wasn't sometime very soon. I mean, this doesn't seem very. Is
he training anybody though? What? Maybe he doesn't have the discipline to be a trainer.
Maybe it's hard to say. I don't know that he has.
I wonder if there's any rules against, because he's promoting that fight too, right? Golden Boy Entertainment. So
right.
I'm wondering if there's an actual you're not allowed to promote it as well as be in the corner of a guy. That could be very biased, kind of like gambling on baseball or something like that.
It could be. We never know, but I also think it's kind of what you see when guys get a little bit of fame and notoriety. And this seems to be the guy that I'm not saying special concessions are being made. I'm just saying that we don't talk about weight when we're on HBO, and we get 2 days to make weight sometimes in case we can't make it the first day.
Another thing about this fight, right after the fight, they were talking about rematch. Now, I don't know if they're still talking about that.
Crazy.
What did Chavez Jr. do that made anybody think he just except lose every single round and then knock him down in the final round? He did nothing that showed me, he's going to take him.
He might have stole the 12th.
He lost every round. He looked like he had no chance of winning that fight until he knocked him down in the last round. I don't understand why anybody's talking rematch.
Yeah.
Well, because it's boxing. They have nothing else to talk about other than Mayweather-Pacquiao.
That guy's a draw. Look at what they did in Thomas and Mack. I mean, the guy's a draw.
There you go. I mean, it's a name. That's kind of what you have to do right now with boxing. They don't have too many other things. I mean, Klitschko, he's wanting to go to Russia to fight rather than be here. He gets a bigger draw that way. Other fights here, I mean, there's just nothing to push other than Pacquiao-Mayweather, and then you look at you see Chavez's son. Everyone's like, we could be closer to Chavez, so we'll go for him.
Mad props to Martinez too in that fight for fighting. You know, after the 7th round, he could have just cruised. He had that game, and you see a lot of fighters, and you see that in MMA a lot too. When once you get past the halfway point, when you're winning decisively, you just take off and you go cruise control. Yeah. He did not. He engaged every single round, including the last round, and he fought to win that fight.
And that's what you want to see.
Exactly. I will watch that guy fight from now till he retires.
And the fact is, he's 37. You know, and look at what that guy had to put up with before that fight even happened. Just in the canceling of the public training events, everything. I mean, that guy had to deal with a lot.
Yeah.
I want to go